morning, 47. We have a lead on the Shadow client. ICA White Hats have traced the anonymous data received by our clients to one Olivia Hall, brilliant young hacktivist and suspect in a dozen cases of cyber vandalism. Using onion routing with state-of-the-art encryption, Hall went to a lot of trouble to stay untraceable. She is good, but we are better. Her digital trail has led us to a remote farm in Colorado, where satellite footage has revealed what appears to be the training camp for a private militia, led by an already registered target, Sean Rose, Australian environmental terrorist and explosives expert wanted for a series of public bombings. Rose was spotted near the scene of Thomas Cross's kidnapping, which makes him our prime suspect for the Shadow client. Spurred by Eric Sodas, the ICA Board of Directors has asked us to infiltrate the farm and eliminate Sean Rose, along with 3 other prominent militia members. Ezra Berg, retired Mossad interrogator, Penelope Graves, former Interpol anti-terror analyst, and finally Maya Parvati, former assassin and gunrunner for the Tamil Tigers. I'll be honest with you, 47. I consider Eric Soda's reasoning hasty and ill-advised. Now, we cannot go against the wishes of the board, but we can conduct our own investigation. Whether a direct threat to the ICA or not, we need to know the Shadow client's true agenda. I will leave you to prepare.
Hello everyone, welcome to more Hitman 2. Here we're at Colorado, when we're taking the Krugermeyer 22 ICA electrocution phone and the lockpick Mark II. As usual, we're starting at the default starting location, and we're doing it on master difficulty, suit only, silent assassin. You know, the usual stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome to Colorado, 47. The militia has taken up HQ at an old apricot farm and appear to be training for a series of coordinated strikes, ranging from cyber attacks to full-blown guerrilla warfare. The Shadow client appears to unite specialists and radicals from all over the map. Mercenaries and terrorists, hackers and spies joined by an unknown common cause. Satellite scans indicate that the command room is below ground inside an old tornado shelter. Only Rose appears to have access, however, so to get inside, you will need to get creative. This environment is hostile and highly alert, so tread carefully. Good luck, 47.
I'm gonna be real with you guys, I usually do this live, but this one has been such a pain in the ass that I've actually pre-recorded the footage and I'm gonna be commentating over it. Just kind of happened that way. It took me about 20 attempts because it is a pain in the ass. Especially with waiting through that intro, it screws up a lot of the time. And first you're going to get your Krugermeyer out here, you're going to shoot next to this guy pissing to turn his attention away, and then you're going to shoot that camera. Then you're going to keep on running through. The Krugermeyer comes from level 20 mastery of Bangkok, which I didn't have when I first started this, but I realised I needed it, so I had to quickly get that last mastery done. I don't remember where the electrocution phone comes from. I just know it's insanely overpowered, and I'm only using it because I couldn't think of any other option, really. I'm only really going to use it as a last-ditch effort. This guy doesn't see you behind the box, especially if you just walk. Walking and standing still means that people see you really slowly in this game, but when you run, they see you rapidly. So we're going to run here, but we're going to stop running at the tires. So otherwise that guy near the toolbox is going to turn around and see us. But if we walk, he doesn't see us long enough for it to matter. His first difference, if you skip the intro, if you get here, like, you have to wait a bit longer, but because we're, like, cutting the line, like, we're cutting it razor thin, Maya Parvati is already beneath that hay bale. About 1 minute 15 on the clock, you can shoot it and kill her. I'm going to pick up that brick just to make a non-lethal takedown a bit easier later on. But the main thing which screwed me with skipping the intro and not is, for some reason, the last 2 targets do widely, like, they show up to this main house, which we're going to be at near the end when we take them both out, at different timings. So if you don't skip the intro, they go like one after the other, but if you do, one of them gets there a lot earlier, but then you've got to get there a lot earlier, so it's a lot stricter timing, but does make some things a bit easier. Here we're just going to wait for this guy on our left to start moving, and then we can start heading towards that door. he's in front of. And then we're going to use our lockpick, which is the main reason we brought it, really, because there's 2 gates we need to break into. So here's the first one. Just lockpick it, you'll be fine. Then you take a right, run over here to these little barricade things, climb over them, and hide behind this box. This man on our right is going to turn around once, and then we're going to have to wait for him to turn around again and face the window. Because at the moment, one of our targets, Ezra Berg, is in that shed, along with another militia member. But when he turns his back, we're going to walk up, we're going to smack him in the back of the head with a brick, and then we're going to put his body into the box next to the shed. We're going to leave the gun there. Then we're going to shoot the camera outside the shed, and then we're going to shoot the electrical box. The guard with Ezra will investigate the electrical box, and then see the gun, take the gun all the way into the house. But first, we've got to wait for him to walk past that window. When he does, we're going to climb through, and we're going to shoot Ezra Berg in the back. A nice little double tap. And then we're just going to quickly put Ezra Berg's body into this cupboard here. Take the shit he dropped on the floor. The hallucinogen drugs don't do a lot for us, but the keys are nice. Just means you're going to open some doors a bit quicker. And then we're going to wait for this guy to move past the door, and then you're going to walk past the door, because there will be someone who will see you if you run. Here's the bit where timing gets a bit weird, because I'm a little bit slow on this, so when I get here, this guy bird watching all the way to our left has just stopped, so he's going to start heading down here. If you're fast enough, you can even run all the way up there and past him, but I just cannot get that timing down. But this way, you don't, like the way I'm doing it now, you don't need to get that timing down. It's a slight variation near the end, because Sean Rose and Penelope Graves are real pains in the ass this way. But he's just going to take a drag of whatever the fuck he's smoking, and then quickly flick it away. And when he does, we're just going to start walking behind him, because we don't want to get ahead of him, obviously, because then he's going to see us. And you want to especially walk past this gate on the left, because otherwise, if you run, you're going to get seen. So just walk on a little bit more, sprint a bit at this point. Around here is where I'm going to put down a save. You will see a transition, because like I said, I have used a lot of saves in this game, about 20 or so tries. So just going to lockpick this door, then walk on through, so there's a guy in a window looking at us, run through the tall grass, try and stick to the tall grass as much as possible, climb up here, someone will shoot you for a bit, or maybe not sometimes, but it doesn't matter. Here, you want to walk, and just take cover here until those yellow lines are gone. Then aim at this camera, shoot it, put your gun away, walk on through further. Then we're going to head into the house. We're going to tamper with the clock to get Sean Rose's attention for a bit when he shows up. And then we're going to unlock this door, go downstairs. We're going to knock out the one guy down there. We can leave him where he is, no problem. And we're going to pick up a syringe, which is located in a teddy bear on the top shelf for some reason. But this is going to be an easy way to take out Penelope Graves. Honestly though, if you can, try and just take a fiber wire or fiber wire similar weapon like tape or something, because that way you can instantly drag her. And I had some problems sometimes trying to drag her when she was dead, because the carpet she kept on getting caught on for some reason, and it was a bit frustrating and led to me getting spotted once or twice when I probably shouldn't have. But here's Sean Rose, just entered the building to our right. He's got the whole thing is he's got a bit of OCD problems. That's why he's freaking out about the clock. You can fuck with a bunch of his shit, and that leads to an opportunity. But really, you kind of need a disguise to do it well. It's like that, or a lot of like manipulating where people are, knocking out a couple of people. This bit, when Penelope Graves gets in, sometimes she gets in a little bit earlier, and she doesn't care about the clock. She'll just walk over and talk to Sean Rose. That's a problem. It happens about every 1 in 5 runs or so. Bit of a pain in the ass. But we'll just get out. We inject her with some poison. She puts on a little bit of a show. And then we try and drag her. Yep, see, there we go. Like, I had some problems where sometimes you just wouldn't drag her for some reason. But we're going to put her in the crate because we don't want to freak people out and screw everything up. Now we're going to put up the phone right at like the base of the top step. I didn't mean to activate instinct. I was trying to put it down. And when Sean Rose has moved into the next room is when you want to trigger the phone's ringtone. Otherwise, the hacker in the room that Sean Rose came from will go and investigate instead, which we obviously don't want. Putting it like right at the top of the stair means that when he triggers this and he dies, he's going to fall forward. A guard, like right there, has just walked past. I don't know why, I don't remember seeing him any other time, but he shouldn't see Sean Rose die there. And look, he's fell downstairs a little bit, the door's closed, so no one's going to see him. We're going to drag him down here, and we're going to use his face to open up this tornado shelter. You can use a 3D face mask, but you have to go upstairs in the house, and in master mode, suit only, because obviously everywhere's hostile in Colorado, is fucking annoying. There's like at least 6 or 7 guys up there, and there's barely anywhere to maneuver. But here we're just gonna reveal a bit more of the story. But that's one thing you gotta keep in mind about Colorado, is if you don't have the disguise, you're not safe anywhere. You need to stay away from people because you can't, like, there's no safe area. Aside from maybe the tornado shelter, I guess, because there's no one in there.
Which would mean
he knows me.
Well, at least this shortens the list.
But this is where the story starts to like culminate a bit more. 47 Diana are like starting to figure out what's going on, and it starts to go more into like, oh, the Illuminati is like ruling the world kind of thing, but they're called Providence instead, and you're fighting Providence basically. There's a lot more to it. We'll get more info in the Hitman 2 maps, and probably more info when Hitman 3 comes out.
Thought they were a myth.
A hypothesis, nothing more. The idea that a small cabal of kingmakers, controlling enough corporate and political leaders, could effectively run the world in secret.
Maybe not so hypothetical.
Keep looking, 47. We need full disclosure.
We need full disclosure.
Found something.
Sodas? But that would mean
Yeah, and there's the big
Providence has
culmination of season 1 that the head of ICA is actually the enemy.
It all fits. Persuaded the rest of the ICA board to greenlight this operation. This changes
Everything.
Get out, 47.
But yeah, then you just
What about the shadow?
head out from the tornado show after this. If you've already seen all of this shit when you're doing it, you can just skip all of these individual cutscenes, but I thought I'd show them.
I will need to confer with the board, but mark my words.
Mark
47.
my words,
This
47.
will have consequences.
There we go. Just walk on out of there. None of the mission story completed. Those were from previous runs, which I apparently never finished. And I got a lot of challenges, which I apparently did in this run, although most of it was just the suit only silent assassin stuff. I didn't do a lot of the others, they just showed up. Because it's not my favourite map, Colorado, so I don't finish it half the time. I think I was just trying to unlock something for a specific challenge. But yeah, no, I just skipped through all the shit I unlocked right at the end there.
Rose is gone.
It was me, wasn't it? They tracked me. I don't believe it. I took every precaution.
Rose knew the risks. They all do. You did well, Olivia. I am proud of you. Now listen. The ICA knows about you. They kept you alive because they needed you, and now they don't. We won't talk again. Not until the storm is over.
I don't like it. This man, you know what he's capable of. You need to end this now.
I ran away as a boy. my friend and I, away from that place. We came upon a small farming community. The people were dirt poor, but this woman, she took us in. We were awakened the next morning by the shots. A dozen people lay face down in the snow. Our warden didn't like to leave witnesses. They shot the woman and her family last. They made sure that we watched the whole thing. This is your gift, the warden told us. Your gift and your curse. Touching lives only by ending them.
You know him.
Better than anyone.
Well, there we have it. Colorado's finished. Next is the last of Hitman Season 1's main missions, Citus Inversus, in Hokkaido, but after that we'll do some bonus missions. With Hokkaido, it will be back to normal with a live commentary because it's actually a bit easier. I've already finished practice of it and it was really easy. So yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time.